Hi guys, welcome back to the Excel tutorial video. Today we are going to discuss how to calculate warehouse capacity utilization or space utilization. We will be creating this actionable dashboard in which you can get the cubic space utilization and its status, what is the pallet position utilization and its status. You will also get some capacity analysis like how much available cubic space, how much available pallet positions. If the warehouse inbound material grow by 2% monthly, then in how many days you will get 95% of your capacity occupied. We will also check how you can put warehouse dimensional data, then how you can put data of each inventory, so then how you can put the data of your pallet positions and your racking configuration. We will discuss about various storage type. We will also check what are the different rack system you are using. Then we will calculate about the cubic calculation, that what is usable and what is non-usable. We will also check the pallet position utilization by total pallets available in different racks, the empty positions, and by using this data we can create this sort of dashboard by which we can take actions. Let's start. In the introduction tab of this sheet, we are defining the purpose of this Excel sheet, and there are certain instruction, some color coding. The first and foremost, we have to define our warehouse layout dimensions. So here we have the length, width and height of a warehouse. You can see that the building in which you are building your warehouse, so what is the length of it, what's the breadth of it, and the height of it. All of these will be unit in feet. So the total floor area will be multiplication of length and width. And if you want to multiply it by height, you will get the cubic feet volume. Here we have the description for it. Now comes to the non-usable space. So in a warehouse, we have usable and non-usable space as well, as you can see here. So there are some offices, some meeting rooms, some maintenance area, some picking part, some receiving, some shipping area as well. So this is not the area where you put your material. So this will not be calculated in the warehouse capacity. So for that, this is the whole area. We need to deduct the non-usable space from this total cubic volume so that we can come up with the actual usable volume of the warehouse. So the first and foremost is office admin area. You can put this number, and you need to deduct the restroom or the break rooms area. You also need to deduct the loading docks, which is shipping and receiving. Then there is a maintenance area. In the maintenance area, you generally do the maintenance of material handling equipments like forklift and all. Then there is aisle space, which is in terms of percentage of floor. Generally, the warehouse designer give you this number. So this is the space which is required for material movement, human movement, etc. So if you check all of this area, you will sum up this and you will get total non-storage area. The aisle space in the square feet will be this one. So in the total non-storage area, you need to sum up all of these non-usable space. Here we are calculating by the 30% of the floor, what will be my aisle space. Then there is a total deduction, which is a sum of total non-storage and aisle space. And then we are going to minus this number from the total floor area, which is 30,000 square feet. Then we will get the usable floor area, which is 14,200 square feet. Then we need to convert this floor area into the volume. So if you want to convert from a square feet to the cubic feet, you need to multiply it by the height. So this was the floor area. If I am going to multiply it by the height, I will get the cubic volume. Now let's put the inventory data. So you know that what are the items you are going to store in your warehouse. So then you must be aware of their dimensions, because here we are talking about the cubic calculation. So here each of the item which I am going to store in my warehouse will be having certain length, width and height. And this is the total number of the quantity which I am storing in my warehouse. And this is the total number of quantity which one single pallet can accommodate of this particular item. So now after having all of these information available, we can calculate that for this much on hand quantity, 10 pallets are required. And if we convert the volume from inch to the cubic feet, we need to divide it by 1728, and that is why we are getting the total volume of that SKU. So we need to do this calculation for all of the SKUs, and that is why we are going to get that how much total quantity on hand we are going to store in our warehouse. Then how much pallets will be required in order to accommodate this on-hand quantity, and these inventory can be converted into the total volume of 33,159 cubic feet. Now let's move to the another tab, which is pallet position. So there are different type of storage area where you can put your pallets. Okay, So let us talk about some storage types. So there is selective racking, and it is most common. Here you can see this is the selective racking in which anyone can go and pick up that pallet. Then there is drive-in racking. In this racking, forklift drive into the lanes of store pallets deep. So this is the arrangement of drive-in and drive-through rack system. It is high density system and it is being followed in various warehouses as well. Then you have floor stacking. So you usually have pallets and you stack them on the warehouse floor directly. So here we have the description and the characteristic of different type of storage. You can have a look. Let's move to the calculation part of it. So in the racking configuration, first of all, we need to check that how many selective racking bays I have, and each of the bay, how many positions I have. Positions, it means that how many number of pallets I can put in one bay. Then there is level. It means how much stacking I can do in that particular racking bay. So if you multiply all of these three, you will get the total pallet positions available in that particular bay. The same way for the drive-in racking lanes, you should be aware that how many lanes you have, each lane how many pallets can be there, what is the level per lane, it means how much stack you can do, and then you can get the capacity of total drive-in positions for the pallets. The same way, the third type of storage, which is floor stacking, you need to check that how much area you have in the square feet. Then you also need to know that in that particular area, what is the density of pallet? Here we are saying that pallet per 100 square feet is around 2.5 pallets. So now you can calculate that how many positions of pallets you have on the floor stack type of storage. So by doing this calculation, you will be getting the number of total pallet position, which is 1240, which is nothing, just the sum of all of these three calculations. Now, you need to check that what is my current utilization. So first of all, we need to check what is my occupied position right now. So this is 122, which is coming from the inventory data. We just calculated that how much pallet are required for our inventory. Correct? So this is the pallets which are required. Now we have the total pallet position are 1240. So the available position will be 1240 minus 122, which is around 1118. And we can check the occupancy rate is 9.85%. So we are saying that only 10% of our pallet position are covered and rest of the warehouse is empty. Hope you understand this. Let's move to the cubic calculation. In the cubic calculation, we are going to do the calculation in terms of volume. Earlier in the pallet position, we were doing the calculation in terms of pallet positions. Now we will be doing it in terms of volume. So this is the total warehouse volume which is coming from the warehouse dimension sheet, correct? We have calculated it from here, which is this one. So this is our total warehouse cubic volume. Then this is the non-usable cubic volume. Again, we have calculated it here. Okay. Then this is our usable cubic volume. Now the volume occupied by the inventory is 33,160, which is coming from our inventory data, which we have calculated from here. So we need to put this number there, although this sheet automatically connected to the cell. Yeah, so this is your unused cubic space, which is subtraction of occupied from the usable cubic volume. You can check the cubic space utilization, which is 7.8%. Here are some other KPIs as well for the performance analysis. One is, let's say if your target is 70%, then how far you are from that target. Then we can see it's a minus 62%. If this number is greater than 0, it means you are in good position. But if you are below 0, it means you are underutilization. The same way, additional storage capacity is something which you are checking that what is available in order to get occupied by other inventory. It is equal to the unused cubic space. And then you can convert this additional storage capacity into the pallets by just dividing 50. Because generally a pallet utilizes 50 cubic feet of volume. Sometimes it's get 80 as well in the bigger one. But the industry norm is around 50. So this is how you are going to calculate the cubic space utilization. Now let's move to the another sheet where we are going to discuss the pallet calculation. In this sheet, the pallet position utilization measure how efficient your racking system and storage position are being used. So here we will be having the data of total pallet position available, which is 1240, and how much pallet position are available in each type of storage system like selective rack, drive-in rack, and the floor. If you sum these three, you will get 1240. Now, how many occupied pallet positions are there? Which is 122. These are coming from our inventory sheet, which is this one. Okay. If you minus this number from the total pallet position, you will get this 1118. And then you can check the pallet position utilization if you divide the occupied by the total, which is 9.85% here. So there are again some performance analysis available and there are certain metrics to it. The first one is utilization versus target. If you have 90% as a target for the utilization, then you are 80% far away from it. And again, if it is more than zero, it means you are overcrowded or you are overutilized. And if it is below zero, it means there's some capacity available which you should do. And if it is way less than zero, like in our case, it means it's underutilized. So how much additional pallet capacity is available as per the 95% capacity utilization? Because generally nobody fill their warehouse to the 100% because operationally it has various challenges. So at 95% capacity, you still have 1054 positions remaining. If you check as per your utilization, what is the rating of your warehouse capacity utilization performance, then it is poor. We have a rating available in which we are saying that if it is less than 70%, it means poor. If it is something around 85%, it is fair. Around 95%, it is good, and greater than 95%, it is excellent. So we can get our rating of warehouse as well. And if we are expecting there is a 2% monthly growth rate, then how many days are remaining by which our warehouse can reach up to 95% of utilization? And it's a very simple calculation. You can reach out the formula. If we are greater than 95%, it will show it is at capacity. Otherwise, it will calculate the number of days required to reach up to 95% if the growth is 2%. If I say the rate of growth is 200%, then this number will change and it will come to 128 days. So likewise, you can change the growth rate and you will get the number. This is also very important KPI in order to check that whether you are in need of new warehouse or not. So people in the industry do check this number as well. Now come to the dashboard. So whatever data we have calculated, we can create a dashboard here in which we will be having key performance indicator. One is cubic space utilization, which is coming from the cubic calculation. Then the pallet position utilization, which is coming from pallet calculation. So if you have some target like 60 to 85%, you can have this automated status, which will tell you that whether you are low utilization. The same way, what is your total usable volume? If you have some target, you can create alert here as well. What is your total pallet position? What is your occupied position as well? There are some recommendations which you can follow, that if your cubic utilization is less than 60%, you can check out the pallet at vertical storage solution. If your cubic utilization is greater than 85%, it may indicate the excellent utilization or need for expansion. The same way, if your pallet utilization is less than 85%, then you can review the slotting strategy and the product placement efficiency. And if your pallet utilization is greater than 95%, you can consider expansion or improved inventory turnover to maintain flexibility. So there should be some optimal balance in both type of metrics. So whenever you are talking about the warehouse space utilization, these two utilization always be in check. So this is how you can create an actionable warehouse utilization dashboard and you can calculate your warehouse capacity utilization. You can get this Excel link in the description. This is an automated Excel which you can use by just putting your data. You can get this Excel link in the description at very minimal price. Kindly suggest the topic which you want us to cover in the Excel tutorial. Till then, keep optimizing. Thanks for watching.